Rejects MPP's amnesty offer, questioning basis of expulsion and vows to revive the UP tradition of integrity and nation-first leadership.
But today they claim they are giving us amnesty. What does amnesty mean? What crime has our new leader committed? What crime did I commit in NPP for you to sack me? And today you are telling me you are giving me amnesty. No way.
We have details as the party expresses confidence in wresting power from the NDC in the next general election. We have details here on Top Story, brought to you always by Telecel Connect and Energies and also by Short Pension Trust. Into the future with you. Now, tonight, the newly formed United Party's leadership has made it clear that there's no going back to the new patriotic party rejecting an offer of amnesty that implies wrongdoing on their part. National chairman of the party, Abubakar Sadique Boniface, says the United Party's departure from the NPP is permanent, driven by a desire to revive Ghana's original 1957 UP tradition. This movement, he said, is built on inclusivity, unity, and service to the nation, attracting experienced leaders from diverse backgrounds. Led by Alan Kyeremanten, the movement for change officially transformed into the United Party UP, opening a new chapter in Ghana's political history. Speaking at the launch of the United Party, Chairman Abubakar Sadique Boniface said they aim to restore Ghana's politics to its founding ideals of integrity and nation-first leadership.
But today they claim they are giving us amnesty. What does amnesty mean? What crime has our new leader committed? What crime did I commit in NPP for you to sack me? And today you are telling me you are giving me amnesty. No way. No way. When you divorce in Islam, when you divorce a woman 3 times, she's no longer your wife till thy kingdom come. I consider myself, I consider people like Baba Alaji in the Islamic fraternity have been sacked. We don't belong to anybody. We came and contributed. Ghana first. We believe in Ghana and nothing else. Our members include people, renowned people in this country. Some were members of parliament, cabinet ministers, some from NDC, some from NPP, PNC. Today they have come together to form what we call a united party. If they had forgotten, the UP was inaugurated when? 3rd November 1957. When Kwame Nkrumah was introducing what we call ADA, Avoidance of the Discrimination Act. This was where Otunfo called Ochiame Bafwa-Kutu and said, look, gentlemen, Kwame Nkrumah is saying that by December, if any party formed based on religion, ethnicity, regionalism, that party will be banned by 31st December 1957. So you see, people are born being smarter than people who think they are in positions. Bafwa-Kutu was CPP, but by the instructions of Asante, he quickly moved around the whole country, pulled all the parties together, and then they came and formed a party called UP, United Party, because it was broad-based.
You had the national chairman of the United Party, the Abubakar Sadique Boniface, referring to an amnesty that the NPP has given. But so, what is contained in this amnesty given by the NPP? My colleague Kenneth Jesse joins me in studio with more. Kenneth, let's understand what this amnesty was all about.
Well, Brace, so about 2 months ago, the New Patriotic Party issued a communique which was signed by the party's acting national chairman, Dankwa Smith Bute. That was on the 25th of August 2025, and it said that the party has announced a general amnesty for all members who were suspended or had pending disciplinary cases before the party's adjudicatory bodies. The decision taken at a National Council emergency meeting on the 25th of July 2025 aims to promote unity and reconciliation ahead of the party's political engagements. Under the directive, all suspensions and ongoing disciplinary proceedings have been lifted. However, reinstated members will remain ineligible to contest any internal party elections until a mandatory 2-year period has elapsed. Party executives at all levels have also been cautioned to strictly adhere to established disciplinary procedures in handling future matters. And you will recall some time back that Alan Kyeremanten famously broke away from the New Patriotic Party when he failed to garner enough votes to lead the party, and he took most of the new members of this now united party with them. So really, they are referring to this particular communique that was issued by the party on the 25th of August.
Thank you very much, Ken. But the General Secretary of the newly formed United Party, Buabeng Asamoah, says the group remains confident of the chances in future elections, despite its poor showing as a political movement in 2024.
We were very competitive in that election, except that our vote did not reflect the effort and the belief that went into it. If you were witness to some of our campaigns, you noticed how our T-shirts were being rushed after and torn from our grabs. But we believe very strongly that we're not fairly treated in that election. We're cheated, bottom line. We're investigating it, and we'll put the full facts out. There are many, many people who voted for us, stood at polling stations waiting to hear the results, and came out crying that they voted but they heard zero. So many instances of that. So we are confident, and this didn't come out of the blue. The very people you believe did not vote for us are the people who urged us and insisted that we should transform into a political party with full-fledged structures, including the possibility of MPs, which is going to happen, and that with that, they will now be bold and confident and know that we can win. You know, we have to break this myth about smaller parties not being able to win. And it is a myth because it is about the voter. If the voter chooses to vote a particular way, and in the last election, nearly 2 million people chose not to vote at all. It's a vote. Refusing to vote to push your party into opposition is a vote, which means that there is a whole well of apathetic, discontented people who are looking for more from politics than they are getting at the moment. We are in the right place at the right time.
You're still listening to Top Story, brought to you always by Telecel and Shield Pension Trust. Let's now engage some stakeholders of this on Top Story now. Mustapha Salam is NPP youth organizer, and this is the party from which this UP broke away from. So what will they be making of this particular movement? Salam, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. I mean, UP says despite your amnesty that you gave, they are not returning. I'm sure by now you should be, nursing or thinking about why you took the decision in the first place to sanction them.
Good evening to you and your cherished listeners. I don't think that we are panicked at all. As a political party, we understand that it's a mass party. The rationale behind the amnesty we granted was broad-based. One, a number of suspensions were done before and during the election that we thought that, looking at where we were as a party, it is prudent that we clean up our slate and offer an amnesty to all members of the party who have pending issues before this federal committee, or due to one reason or the other, they were issued with suspensions. And a number of people, a number of constituencies have such disciplinary issues. So it was based on that we issued the amnesty, let's distinguish one or two things. Let's put some things into perspective. When you resign from the party, it is completely a different matter. As a party, we run based on rules, regulations. We have a constitution that guides our operation.
So are you arguing that the amnesty you put out there did not cover people who belong to the then movement for change?
Let me give you this. When you resign from the party voluntarily, you have left. If you wish to rejoin the party, you must apply. Again, in the constitution of the party, when the party sponsors a candidate and you go against the candidate, you automatically forfeit your membership of the party. And to rejoin the party, you must apply.
But there have been circumstances that people have gone against candidate that you sponsored, but have been brought back into the party. We never heard of anything like they have reapplied to rejoin the party.
You certainly go through a certain process to rejoin. And that is so for almost every member of the party. Coming to say that I am rejoining the party itself is a process, and that you are taken through the formal joining of the party, you are issued with membership. So let's not mistake the processes at all. So if anybody says that I do not wish to rejoin, it is the person's decision. There are a number of people who have rejoined the party based on the amnesty that was granted. And some of the disciplinary actions that were going on also stopped, and some of the decisions reversed. That we start on a fresh note and rebuild the party. And I think that has been well accepted, and largely people who were affected by the suspensions have welcomed it and back into the party and working with the structures of the party.
But Salam, politics is about numbers, and I'm not sure you are trying to downplay the impact, for example, the movement for change had on your numbers in 2024, such that if they now declare they are not coming back and therefore they form their own party, you must be worried.
We work as a party with numbers, rightly mentioned. Indeed, we went into competitive elections. Then, at a point, someone says that I will not contest again. I am leaving the party, goes to form his movement and goes into the election. And garners 35,000 votes across the country. Now, they say that we are turning it into a political party. That is the will of the people forming their own political party. This is not new to our political environment. It happened to the NDC, in the early 2000s with the likes of Kusitano and Co. breaking away, forming their own party, National Reform Party. We saw the wife of the founder of the NDC, Madam Nana Kunido Rawlings, forming the NDP. It did not affect the NDC in any way. Today, the NDC is back in office. These things will continue to happen. Political parties can spring up as and when people decide to form their own political parties. It is in order of the democratic ethos we are all building and following. So if they have come to join, all fair and good. I don't think it threatens the NPP in any way or makes us any way uncomfortable. Our interest now, today, is to build our party, ensure that we're able, by 31st of January 2026, get our presidential election done, continue with the reorganization of the party, rebranding, for it to become attractive, one, to the youth, two, to the business community, three, the young professionals, four, middle class who are natural base of the NPP, and all other people who wish to see the NPP back, to its glory days.
So, but Mustapha, once politics is about numbers, would you want to give the movement for change, now the UP party, another opportunity to try and see if they can come back to join the elephant family?
We as a party welcome everybody. It's a mass party. Anybody who wishes to join can come and do so. In the year 2000, President Kufuor lost his campaign manager at the twilight of the campaign. I'm sure you remember the famous Alhaji Inusa saga. Went to the NDC. President Kufuor won the 2000 election. These defections, happen all the time. People move across the political divide based on beliefs and other factors.
So will you put an end to the backdoor negotiations you're doing with them to try and rejoin your party?
I'm not sure there's any backdoor negotiation at all. An amnesty.
I'm grateful to you, but stay with me. Let me now bring in Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante. Okay, but before, let me bring in Buabeng Asamoah, who is the General Secretary of the United Party. We have him join us on the line. Mr. Buabeng Asamoah, grateful to you for joining. Do we have Buabeng Asamoah on the line? Okay. We'll try and bring back Buabeng Asamoah, who is the General Secretary of the United Party. He was a former stalwart of the opposition New Patriotic Party. Yeah, Mr. Asamoah, grateful for joining. Okay, let me bring in Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante. Do I have you, Dr. Asante?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Kojo.
Let's analyze the impact the UP could have on the political landscape of this country. What do you envisage to be their impact on the duopoly we have?
Thanks for the opportunity. As for the duopoly, they cannot do much in that area to break it. Because if you look at the political history of this country was founded on two-party systems from 1951 up to date. All the parties we've had are just born, the two dominant parties are born out of the UP or Nkrumah's tradition. Any other party has been eclipsed by these dominant parties.
And I'm driving.
I have no doubt in that, yes, what the new party, the UP, want to do, yes, they can profess it, they can say very good things about them, but as to whether they will be able to wrest power from the dominant political parties, I know it's an impossible adventure.
Do stay with me. Let's bring in Buabeng Asamoah now. We are told he's rushing into a meeting. Let's make a start before we come back to you. Mr. Buabeng Asamoah, grateful to you for joining us. Now, we all do follow the politics of this country, and it almost looks like we have a duopoly. So, what's that motivation, and what should we, look up to say the UP is here to break that duopoly, to wrestle power from both the NDC and the NPP?
Several reasons why the duopoly is becoming a disservice to this nation. First of all, the immediate assumption, the arrogant assumption that it is only a duopoly that can lead this country and therefore can continue to disrespect voters. Look at the commentary and the analysis that's been, it's only two parties, nobody else can break through. How can you take the voter for granted to that extent? Only a voter can determine at any point in time whether or not a duopoly
is the only way forward or not. So we, the UP, are here to offer a viable alternative to the duopoly. We are here to show that a political organization can actually break through to the people based on responsiveness to the needs of the people, based on values that touch the heart of the people, values that affect governance, values of self-sacrifice for political service, values of integrity in public life, values where you value the voter over and above the interest of the politician. And that is how come we went all the way back to the UP, to a time when politics was used to fight for freedom and liberty. And now we have gone to the center, where politics now must depend on pragmatic solutions, compromises and balance that will combine the best of both left and right for the benefit of the people. This is modern politics. This is new politics. Duopoly politics takes voters for granted. And that is what has exposed them and will expose them. Go back to 2024. 2 million people refused to come out and vote. Don't you know that that is a vote?
But you were in that particular contest. Are you
2024?
Yes. Are you assuming those numbers could have come to you?
But that is what I'm telling you. Find out where those numbers could have gone.
No, but you were in the contest.
I am convinced that if the propaganda hadn't been that an independent cannot win, a smaller party cannot win unless you give it to us, and those people stayed at home because they were persuaded bitterly that a small party cannot win, therefore I won't bother. That was the position. Therefore, I won't bother because these big parties can't give me what I want. They recycle policies. They turn politics into a revolving door. Scratch my back, you scratch my back. After every incumbency, we pretend to go through a round of accountability, arrest here and there. People's businesses are collapsed behind the scenes. Scratch my back, scratch you. Then another 4 years, and then the same group come around, another group comes around, and the same cycle. We are not moving forward.
So
we are just piling up debt.
If those 2 million did not come out to vote for you in 2024, what different thing are you going to do to attract those voters that you believe could have voted for you?
We don't twist the situation. I'm not saying that I believe they could have voted for me. I'm telling you that they didn't vote because they are fed up with the duopoly.
And you said
sentiment.
And you said if the people you made a point, and I just want us to stay on that point. You said if the propaganda had not gone against you, you'd have gotten those numbers. And I'm asking, what are you going to do different to get those numbers in 2028 now that you're a fully fledged political party?
If 2 million people did not step out to vote, then you should realize that the arrogant posture of the duopoly that they are the only game in town is not true. It means the ground is ripe for change, and that an alternative that is viable and credible can replace one of the duopoly. And that is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to break through the duopoly because we are going to offer inclusion, we are going to offer integrity in public life, we are going to offer service, we are going to persuade people to actually get to work, we are going to build an enterprise economy. These are the things that will make a difference for the people to see that we are competitive enough to vote for us. But the assumption that people must necessarily vote for one of the duopoly is what is going to kill democracy in this country. The assumption that the duopoly is safe, and that it's a revolving door, and that they can recycle tired old policies under new names and continue to pile up debt and criminalize each other's actions every 4 years and 8 years, grow businesses and collapse the businesses in 8 years, all through underhand dealings and public procurement, funny public procurements and all that. They are simply taking Ghanaian voters for granted. They are taking Ghanaian voters for granted.
So your belief is that now that you are a fully fledged political party, you can do better than you did when you were independent?
We are going to dislodge the duopoly. That is our aim. Our single strategic aim is to dislodge the duopoly and offer Ghanaians the opportunity of a functional government.
Are you basing this on statistics and history, or you're just?
Am I basing it on what?
This assertion of yours that you're going to dislodge the duopoly on numbers or statistics and history, political history, or you're just saying it?
Strategy, how can I just say it? You think it's easy to build a political organization just say it. Just saying they didn't bring us to where we are today, where we've launched a very viable, potent organization which has achieved the status of a provisional certificate. Now we are going to roll out and get our full certificate. And beyond the full certificate, we are going to take power in Ghana and bring ethical leadership, discipline back into public life.
I mean, when Dr. Papako Sindum's PPP came on, that was the same sentiment. They were going to dislodge it. But we all know what happened. How different will the UP be?
The UP is different because we've already organized ourselves in terms of a credible program of action to restructure this country. And it's all in the great transformational plan. It is a great document. It contains major structural overhaul of the institutions of this country, as well as the platform for building an enterprise economy, an economy that actually enriches the nation and therefore the individuals within the nation. We are also...
I'm grateful to Yao Buabeng Asamoah, General Secretary of the United Party, for your time here. Let me bring in Dr. Kwame Asante again. Dr. Asante, so you've listened to both, you've listened to the UP party now. They say they will be able to dislodge the duopoly. But you really understand the history and the numbers. What do you make of this?
Oh, what I can understand is Asamoah, all that he's saying is not founded on research. I mean, over the years, we have seen parties that have come and gone. We have seen the PPP, as you rightly pointed out to him, the issue, the party of NR, National Reform Party, and all that. They came in and they could not do anything. Research has shown that the smaller parties since 1992 have not gone beyond 5%. Meanwhile, you are talking about a threshold of what? Beyond 50%. Where are they going to get that from? It tells you that other factors will keep them away. As all that they are saying is not new. That political parties you have today are just members from different traditions who have come and then grouped in there. It's not new. What the real task for them is that how are they going to approach the duopoly? That is an impossible task for them. I know that, yes, they can take some numbers away from certain political parties and cause them for a fortune in terms of the elections. But as to their winning elections, they must go back to the literature and then the figures. It is not true. They cannot win.
Okay, I'm grateful to you, Dr. Kwame Asante, Senior Lecturer, Political Science Department, University of Ghana. Tanko Rashid Computer is Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC. Tanko, now UP says it is going to dislodge you, the NDC, and the NPP from the duopoly you enjoy. What's the reaction of the NDC to the formation of the United Party?
My brother, let me say good evening to you and your cherished listeners. Let me take this opportunity to welcome them to the hot political landscape of Ghana. For now, we are giving them kid groups because they are welcome as new babies. So we will not hit them hard for now. We will just welcome them to the table of men. And then they have to learn the basics. For now, we know as a political party, NDC, we are not perturbed, we are not worried about their coming in. We can only welcome them and wish them well in the game of politics. Well, it's an added advantage to our democratic credentials in Ghana.
All right.
With them coming in, why not? We are operating multi-party democratic system in Ghana, so they are welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Tanko Rashid Computer is Deputy Director of Elections of the NDC. That's all we have for you on Top Story, brought to you always by Telecel, connecting energies and Shield Pension. Trust into the future with you. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Up next is News Night.